everyone, how are you doing? This is Petal. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. I hope you guys are having a great weekend, a great Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. Again, this is Facts and Two Cents. As you know, we are a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, the chickens, all of us here at Sussex Squad. Welcome to my very impromptu podcast today. It might just be me. Oh, well, I see a few of my friends have joined. So welcome, guys. I know this is quite impromptu. But I just, my schedule is a little bit crazy. So it's just what I know. I think Baron is going to be coming up in like half an hour. So I know it's kind of like one of those crazy times, but sometimes it's just when I can do it. And I want to take advantage of when I could do it as much as possible. And I could actually have a live and say hello and be in a chat with everyone. Thank you guys so much who have joined me on chats, like on the premier ones where I can actually be in the chat with you when I'm not able to do a live. So I'm grateful for that. So thank you guys for hanging with me. I see some of my friends are in the chat. Hi guys. I literally was thinking I'll just record this and then everyone will see it later. I really did not expect anyone to come. And so I'm just grateful you guys are hanging with me. Thank you guys. Hi, Church Nelly. How are you? Our awesome moderator and Sylvia. And Sylvia and Rochelle is here and Kanitha. And let's see who else is here. Oh, Norma Campbell and Joanna and Karen M, our awesome moderator, is here as well. Hi, guys. And our 44 of our friends who are not in the chat at the moment. But welcome. And I see Sharon is here. Hi, Sharon. I actually did this episode yesterday. Oh, at least I tried. I was out in the park and I was about to go hit some tennis balls in the park. And I was like, let me do a podcast out here. I haven't done one outside in forever. The last time I tried, it was so windy by the water that I couldn't do it. So I was like, it was a beautiful day yesterday. Yes, in New York, it was like a 50 something. Yes, it's supposed to be really, really cold, but global warming, but I'm not complaining. So I was outside and I was like, oh my gosh, this is me outside by the park yesterday, about to go play tennis. And I was like, let me sit here and do it. And the sun was right behind me and I should know better, that to not have the sun behind you because everything come out really, really dark. But this was me yesterday. And then what I didn't realize was my internet connection was so bad. And I saw it dropping and then it came back. So I thought the recording would be fine and it would pick up. But by the time I came home yesterday and I listened back to it, it was like a garbled mess. And so I was like, well, I got 2 photos to show that, yes, I was outside. And yes, yesterday was a beautiful 50 something in New York. And for us New Yorker squaddies, I hope you guys were out enjoying yesterday as well. It was really, really beautiful. So anyway, almost all of what I'm going to talk about today is what I was talking about yesterday. But that's fine. That is perfectly fine. So now I'm happy I got a chance to actually hang with you on a live. So there, this is great. But anyway, our faves are quiet. Our faves are under a tree in Montecito. They're doing their thing. We know, tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. Well, no, Tuesday. Today is Sunday. So Tuesday is obviously, we know it's Archetypes Tuesday. And also on Tuesday, Meghan is going to be in Indianapolis doing the Power of Women event. I like to call the fireside chat thing. So it's going to be a wonderful Tuesday. Again, I don't know that there are going to be cameras there. So I don't know if Church Nelly, you're so bad. Oh God. She's laughing at my garbled mess, yes, of my recording, yes, and making a comparison. But anyways, Anyway, so what I was saying is that I don't know if there are going to be cameras there, that we're going to see any of the event. It might be a private thing, as they did with when she did the Spotify event. So who knows? So hopefully we get something about something, But prayers for safety, safe travels, and everything for Meghan until she gets back to her tree in Montecito. But that's going to be happening on Tuesday, along with the final episodes of Archetypes, guys. I don't know what I'm going to do after Tuesday. Like, what are we going to do? Tuesdays are never going to be the same. And so I'm like, one of our squaddies, she thinks that it'll be Gloria Steinem. Is going to be the final guest. I would love it if it's Gloria. I would love Gloria and Amanda, because Amanda Gorman did say that she had a conversation with Meghan. And so I would love to hear the conversation. So I would love if that's the final episode with her and Gloria and maybe someone else, who knows. So if you guys want to, guess who the guests will be, I'm good with those two. I mean, I could totally see VP Kamala Harris in there. Totally, I would love to see it, but not sure if that will happen. But I'm good with these two. But let me know what you think. But yeah, Tuesday is gonna be weird. Not to be, by Sunday be thinking Tuesday's coming, Archetypes Tuesday. It's gonna be really, really, really weird. Shelley says we'll have to get Tuesday therapy. I think you're totally right. I know I need it. I will totally need it. So I know she also thinks Hillary Clinton. I would love Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton would be amazing, guys. I love her. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, Terry is agreeing. Yep. I agree. Judge Nelly, podcast therapy. What will it be? Well, I think our therapy would be to go back and listen to all the episodes again. It'll keep us busy for 10 more Tuesdays until my dream comes true, where Harry is going to be hosting his podcast. That's my dream. Of course, everybody else might be like, really, Mel? But no, that's my dream. So yes, Prudence, thank you so much. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and it was awesome, amazing trip to the park. Very interesting. Shout out squaddies in the chat. Oh, absolutely. Everyone, Prudence is saying hello. And Thanksgiving was awesome for me. She's saying Thanksgiving was an awesome, amazing trip to. Which park did you go to? Let me know. I'd love to hear. So do share, Prudence. Oh, Sylvia says, thank you for sharing a beautiful day at the river. Thank you so much. It's my happy place. It's just so weird. It's like, it's just and the funny thing is with that river is like, I have an incredible fear of water, like deep water. And that river scared me to death, but I'm always there. But it also, whenever I'm there, I feel at peace. But the water, knowing that it's deep, scares me to death. Don't ask. I am a weird person. But I don't know why. It is also my happy place. And so, what else are you guys saying in the chat before we go on? Oh, you have the same dream. Yes, I do. At least one other person is as crazy as I am. That is absolutely wonderful. Oh, Kanitha says Harry and Meghan got engaged on this day. Oh, the 27th of November, 2017. I remember the day and saw the engagement interview. Wow, it's so funny. I hadn't been paying attention to this. This is great. Thank you for Kanisha for the history, bit of history there. So there you go. Maybe they're under a tree celebrating the day they got engaged. Do people? I mean, I've never been engaged. So do people celebrate their engagement day? I don't know. I mean, do you guys celebrate your engagement day? I don't know. I don't know why. I never thought of it. Very interesting. Oh, hello. Oh, she's saying hello, IND from Canada. IND from Canada. Well, there you go. Rooting for Canada to win against Croatia. Sorry. Well, I guess you're talking about football in Qatar. We'll talk about Qatar a little bit later. Okay, let's see. Vinny says, I do believe the docuseries will be the replacement for the podcast. Here's hoping. Then the book. I think the Sussexes great at scheduling. Yeah, that docuseries is definitely a mystery there. Seems everyone else is talking about that thing except Netflix and really the Sussexes. I mean, Meghan mentioned it. There's nothing else from anyone else about this docuseries. So apparently, it's supposed to come between the 8th and the 10th of December, according to Omid Scobie, is around the 10th or whatever. And other tabloids in the UK have decided oh no, it's the 8th. Who knows? I have no idea. But there's a docuseries apparently. We'll see. So, anyways, very, very interesting. But, anyways, at least on Tuesday, we know exactly what's happening on Tuesday. Lord willing, he keeps us all alive. We'll be enjoying the final episodes of Archetypes, and Meghan will be doing her Power of Women fireside chat in Indianapolis. So kudos for them. Also, what is happening? Oh, it's so funny. There's been like this hubbub about, and rightly so. I mean, I didn't even realize it was trending. I saw the trend, but I wasn't paying attention to the UK trend, so I didn't realize it was trending in the UK, and it's been trending since this video came out with Camilla and being racist with that little child. I didn't realize it was trending in the it was this. I didn't realize it was trending in the UK all this time, but it's like the royal family is racist, or the racist royal family, or something like that is the hashtag. And but anyways, so it's so funny. One of Squatties tweeted this. She's like, in a world full of Camillas, be a Princess Diana. And those two pictures on the sides are the ones at the top that you really couldn't see very well. And Joy Reid from NBC quote tweeted her, and she says, I think people forget how revolutionary Diana was just by daring to be normal, caring person in defiance of the false majesty of the firm, and her Harry and Meghan with their adorable family have truly taken up that legacy. Love to see it. And obviously, I mean, yeah, we've seen Harry and Meghan with kids and all of that, and how loving they are. And so it's kind of cool that she Joy retweeted that. And if you don't know Joy Reid is a reporter for MSNBC, and so very, very famous reporter in the US. If you're not here and it's like, who is Joy-Ann Reid? Joy is a reporter here. And so it's been such a huge hubbub. So of course, when there's huge hubbub, there's all this nonsense about Harry and Meghan. Obviously, we know what the royal family do. They have their ilks in the press, start writing all this nonsense. And apparently another one of those nasty book people, I call them those nasty book people, have written yet another book invading the Queen's privacy this time. So we'll get to that in a second, but it's just very interesting, this whole thing. And all, I mean, Twitter, if you're on Twitter, it's just flooded with photos of Princess Diana, and just this the beauty. And I think that the thing that is so sad about all of this stuff shouldn't be a big deal. This is just how people are supposed to be to begin with. And the fact that it's such a big deal, it tells you how not loving, not kind, and, really racist the royal family are. It's just like, it's really, I mean, the fact that, again, that this is a big deal, it's just ridiculous. And so, anyways, everyone is, and of course, I guess it's either the palace or whomever, one of their people trying to defend them, posted this very, very edited video that, cuts out part of, what we were talking about last episode with Camilla with one of the kids. So they cut out part of it, and it's just like, that's very edited. And so, but it's very interesting, just to see, again, it'll be very interesting. It's funny that Camilla is now doing a seminar, I guess, with for abused women, and it's just like, Camilla, remember how you didn't apologize for what you and Prince Charles did to Diana? That's abusive. Yes, you didn't physically abuse, but that's mental abuse, and you never apologize. You never own that. So I don't really understand why you're having, again, I don't care how many, they're like, oh, she does a lot of great work for women. Yes, but emotional abuse is also a thing that you have to take ownership of, that you engaged in. So it's just, yeah. Anyways, moving on. And then talk about her. You remember this last time, Prince Charles with his cash in a bag what was that, in June last year? Actually, not last year, June of this year. We learned that King Charles, well, then Prince Charles, took money from Qatari business people and or politician actually, took 3 million euros and in in cash, and it was in a bag, in a suitcase, in a Fortnum Mason carrier bags, and in a suitcase. And so we know this whole story from there, and you're like thinking, well, okay, all right, maybe it was back then, and maybe it was okay that people take cash in a bag, and you take cash to your staff, and your staff are sitting there literally counting cash, and nobody thought that, it's like, wait a minute, we shouldn't be taking 1 million euros from someone in a bag and be sitting here counting, and not be something that, the king, the Prince of Wales at the time should be doing. This isn't right, And if you put all of those things aside and you're like, okay, maybe it was the times, maybe, they wouldn't do it again. It's not something they'll do again. Maybe he wasn't thinking and he just had a momentary lapse to be carrying around, 1 million euros in a shopping bag. And maybe you think all that. And if you haven't been here before and you hadn't heard this story, I'm just going to read this really quickly so to catch you up. So because we're going to move on. It says, the Prince of Wales accepted a bag containing millions of euros in cash during meetings with a senior Qatari politician, according to a report. Prince Charles was said to have been given a total of 3 million euros or 2.6 million pounds during meeting with Sheikh Hamad bin Jassim bin Jabir Al Thani, that's a mouthful, the former prime minister of Qatar. The cash had been handed to the heir to the British throne in a suitcase on one occasion, a hold-all on another, as well as a Fortnum and Mason carrier bag or shopping bag, the upmarket department store, which holds a royal warrant to supply the prince's household with groceries. The handover are alleged to have occurred during meetings between the two men, including a private one-on-one meeting at Clarence House in 2015, it was claimed. So again, if you think, okay, it was 2015, it was a different time, he wouldn't do it today, okay, let bygones be bygones. They counted the cash in their office, whatever, and then they gave it over to the charity right away. They didn't spend it. If you believe that, they didn't take any of the cash. If you believe that, you can say all of those things. Now he is king. He wouldn't do something that stupid again, Fast forward to now, there's in Qatar, someone was just tweeting about, posting about Qatar. Now we know what's going on in Qatar. The World Cup is going on into Qatar. As we can see on the left, Prince William won't travel to Qatar to watch England in the World Cup amid concerns over human rights in the country. And then Kensington Palace chimed in that the reason why Prince William will not be going to Qatar isn't because of the human rights issues, because, according to source close to the heir to the throne, said he no longer will due to a busy diary during the competition, the Sun reported. William and Kate's schedule laid out 6 months in advance, though no space was found for Qatar. So they didn't go to Qatar, at least, who knows, if England gets to the final, don't be surprised if William shows up in Qatar, never mind those human rights violations and all of those things. So right now, Prince William, I have Earthshot. I'm going to be in Boston. I can't think of Qatar right now because, human rights violation and my Earthshot mess is happening in Boston. So sorry, Qatar, I won't be there. Well, no. That's apparently Prince William's stance. Somebody forgot to mention to Prince Charles, however, about Qatar's human rights violations and all of those things. Now that we know Prince Charles is all about humankind and is concerned about what's going on in the world and all of these wonderful things. Somebody forgot to mention to Prince Charles that that's kind of happening in Qatar right now, and that's why a lot of protests were happening. So and maybe somebody at Clarence House forgot to pay the Daily Mail their bill. Maybe they forgot to get all the juicy dirt on the Sussexes or something, because this is Kate Muncie from the Daily Mail, and she is writing this. So I'm going to actually take off our banner so that way it doesn't block what I'm about to read here from Kate Muncie. And again, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. That was that banner scrolling by, and we'll get to the rest of it at the end. But Kate Muncie from the Daily Mail wrote this today. King Charles Charitable Foundation has agreed to accept millions of pounds in donation from Qatar. The Mail on Sunday can reveal the Princess Foundation will receive what is thought to be 4.5 million pounds over the next 3 years under the deal, which the World Cup hosts under the deal with the World Cup host, according to sources. The charity has already mired in the Cash for Honor scandal, which is the subject of a police investigation. The new revelation will raise further concerns over the running of the foundation as Qatar faces widespread condemnation for its appalling human rights record. It comes after the king has said he would have far less time to be personally involved with the charity, having ascended to the throne. But the Mail on Sunday can also reveal the king made a secret visit in a blacked out Range Rover to the foundation's project at the Qatari-owned Chelsea Barracks in central London. That's right. Prince Charles sneaked out in a blacked out Range Rover to the Qatari resident, whatever, in London, so he can receive the first part of the 4.5 million pounds from Qatar. I'm telling you, so many times people try to tell us, oh, no, the royal family, the rule of law applies to them and all of that stuff. The only reason you would do this after there were all this major hubbub, this major outcry, when you took the money in a bag only a few months ago, and knowing that that same charity is mired in the Cash for Access, Cash for Honor scandal, which now the police investigation happening, and also the Crown, whatever, security, whatever, they now have the case, and they're, I guess, deciding how they move forward. The only reason you would do this mass is because you have an immunity. It's because that no matter what you do, the only thing that will come out of this is that you're going to be embarrassed for about a day or two, because the press, they're gonna reveal it, because they don't have any juicy Harry and Meghan, information out there. So they'll reveal it, and nothing is going to come out of this. Nothing is going to come of the Cash for Honors scheme thing that you and your staff were a part of. That. So that's why you feel perfectly fine to jump in a blacked out Range Rover and go collect more money from Qatar, from Qatari. And it's like, I'm just like, oh my goodness. They really just don't care. They literally do not care. As long as they get money, as long as they get the money that they want, they really don't care. I mean, this is Prince Charles, who has just inherited All of the queen's money, land, all of her inheritance, homes, palaces, he just inherited all of those things tax free. Why is Prince Charles taking money from Qatar? From people from, like, why is he doing that? When you have all this money. And so again, when I talk about, when it comes to, people like to say like, oh no, the royal family, they donate money, and Prince Charles gives, he started all these charities, and he, there's all this money that he gives to people. I'm like, yeah, Prince Charles doesn't give his money. None of his money is going into any of his charities. The money that's going in there, money that he's taking from, those Middle East millionaires and billionaires, the same ones that he packed in a bus when the queen died. And some of them were like, we're not going to be schoolboys and be packed in a bus. When he comes to our country, we treat him like the prince and the king that he is, And it just is very interesting to me that, all of this stuff is happening. All of these investigations are going on, and he went out and did exactly the same exact thing. I mean, and the fact that the Daily Mail is reporting it, again, it tells you that it's probably a sign to them like, we need more details about those royals in Montecito. You're not giving us enough juice, so we're gonna out you. And it's I just have to laugh. It's very, very funny. And this is actually, if you weren't able to read that article, this is pretty much the same thing that I just read a second ago. But it's just the fact that he, I laughed when the fact that I saw that he was in a blacked out Range Rover, and it happened on Wednesday. And it's just like, I'm telling you. And the funny thing about this is there's no outrage whatsoever. And that's why he does it. That's why he can do it. He knows he'll get away with it. He knows he will get away with it. The most that the people would be like, oh, he's just not making good decisions. Why is he taking money from them? It might be embarrassing, maybe for like a minute. And then he moves on. And then they move on to try to, do whatever to Harry and Meghan. And it's I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't understand why people allow this. Why people allow this unelected official to get away with this kind of mess, but hey, I'm not in the UK. But it's so funny. As I thought about this, I thought about what Prince Charles does. I mean, this man has all the money, all the power, all the influence in the world to make, to do the right thing in terms of, okay, you want to have a charity and you want to be able to fund it. There's so many ways to fund it. There's so many ways to do things on the up and up to fund things, other than jumping into a blacked out Range Rover. The reason why you're in a blacked out Range Rover is because you're hiding. You don't want people to know, and so it is so ingrained, I think, in him to just be skeevy and just and then you look at say Prince Harry, and how Prince Harry is able to fund his charities, how he is able to do the right thing and be able to get money to fund his charities. You look at the right talks about Harry's, we know his memoirs coming out. 1.5 million of that is being donated to his charity, Sentebale. We also know part of that is also going to Well Child Awards as well. Actually, I forgot to pull that in. He also did, he does Polo. He just did a couple months ago in October or September in Aspen with Nacho. They did Polo to benefit again Sentebale. And also Polo. Harry does a lot of Polo, benefiting him and Meghan and Nacho teaming up, Ashwell teaming up to do Polo to support the different charities in Santa Barbara. They don't have to hide in a blacked out limo to go do this. This is there, it's out there. And it just shows for me the character of these two people. This is a father who's supposed to be an example to his son, yet it is Prince Harry. Thank God for Prince Harry's mother. You know, thank God for his mother. You know, to give him an example of being on the up and up, or Prince Harry's second. We talked about how Mark Dyer, Prince Harry, they refer to him as Prince Harry's second dad. How he was there and really helping Harry. To remember when Prince Charles, or King Charles now, he suggested that Harry do a pay for play thing or pay cash for access thing in Saudi Arabia with Mr. Mahfouz bin Mahfouz, and Mark Dyer was like, no, we're not gonna do that. That's cash for access. Harry's second dad, Mark Dyer, is the one that stood up and stood in that gap and be like, no. We're going to do this right way. We're not going to be involved in a cash for access. And then they cut off ties with Mr. Mahfouz. And then Charles jumped in and accepted the cash. It just tells you I'm telling you, King Charles has no business being a king. He has no business being in that position. He is not in any way, shape, or form an example that anyone should want to follow in any sense of the word. And he shows it every single day. In no way should Prince Charles or King Charles have the position that he has. And then they are trying to be like, oh, Andrew. I'm like, look, if you can accept, again, I say this a million times, if you can accept King Charles as king, then you have no business, saying anything against Andrew, because Charles is probably worse than Andrew, so I'm like, whatever. But anyways, it just is I'm just so glad again that Harry has his mother. He had his mother's genes. He had his mother's heart. He has his mother's integrity, that he does not have to look to Charles as any kind of example. It's unreal. It's just like the audacity of these people is amazing to me. But again, they do it because they know nobody will ever hold them accountable. So they feel perfectly fine doing it. So anyways, moving on. So I think we talked about this the last episode. I think we did. Angela Levin and her mess. I'm telling you, with Angela Levin, her mother calling her the devil, I'm telling you, that woman was prophetic in so many ways. She saw that little girl, and you don't want to judge a child because it's a child. Children could have issues or be a little rambunctious. I was one of those as a child, but then grow up to have some kind of a conscience, that to be a better, be a good person and grow out of their evil. Angela Levin seemed to have grown into her evil. She has gotten more evil. And so, of course, we know that she tweeted this thing a few days ago, just being racist. And as yet, not one single reporter has, or, none of her white colleagues have said one word about this. Not one of them. And so Scobie, a couple days ago, this is one of what I was talking about yesterday that got garbled. He tweeted this out. It says it has been, and this is what he said yesterday. So it's been 24 hours since royal author Angela Levin's ugly tweet about the color of a woman's skin, and media folks, outlets who quote her, book her, serialize her books remain silent. Hardly a shy bunch either. Some usually relish the chance to attack opinions they don't like. And Scobie went on and says, this is the state of affairs in our industry, and why, like some others, I don't shut up about it, despite the consequences. When it comes to racism, xenophobia, bigotry, bullying, and harassment, too many people are okay with turning away instead of calling it out. Change that. So it is very, again, up to today, not one of them. Not one of Angela Levin, the people that book her, think of all, whether it's GMB this morning, or all the other, Lorraine and all the other people that book her to come on their shows in the UK and Australia and all over. Not one of the places that she writes for, none of the, she is Camilla. She is Queen Camilla's author. She was even invited to, to Camilla's events and all of those things. None of them have called called her out on anything. Scobie is one of the only people as royal reporters, all of them, Scobie is the only one that did. There was an article I know in Newsweek that called her out, but the article, Jack Royston, it wasn't about him calling her out. It was just saying that Chris Boozy and others called her out. And then the article was, instead of the title of the article or the headline being, Angela Levin, tweeting racist stuff, they literally put Meghan Markle's racist tweet by Prince Harry's author. That's the headline that they have of this thing, where Angela Levin is the one tweeting racist thing about Meghan. And so I called out Jack Royston for his nonsense. I mean, his tweet about it was very different from the headline. So whoever wrote that headline, it was just like, and most squatties, I think, hopefully stayed away from that whole article, because it was just basically using Harry and Meghan's name to get clicks. And it was just despicable that they're using her name it to make it look like somehow Meghan wrote a racist tweet. It's just like, what? And instead of saying Camilla's author, because right now she literally just wrote a book, that's tanked. I think it probably sold about 2 copies, and that's probably 2 copies too many. It probably sold more, but it bombed, and as it should. And so, but other than Scobie, for regular royal reporters, and a couple, I think that Pajiba had an article there as well, but they've all been silent. They're all the regular royal reporters. Every single one of them have been silent about Angela Levin. The only ones that haven't, again, Scobie, man of color. Dr. Shola, Black woman. Queen consort Camilla was the instrument in destroying Princess Diana's marriage to King Charles, and instrumental in elevating Angela Levin, Meghan Markle hater, as her biographer. No plausible deniability. Connect the dots. That's Prince Harry's mother and wife, if Harry speaks. And again, she's calling out Angela Levin, but I'm glad she is connected. And, she's one of the only ones that to connect that Camilla that's her person. That's her person that's wrote her book at her, at her consent, whatever. And then Dr. Shola goes on to say, I said Camilla is instrumental I said Camilla is instrumental to destruction of Charles and Diana's marriage. Remember, Diana said there were 3 of them in the marriage, but responsibility for its end, in my opinion, not that it's my business, is Charles. He signed a marriage contract and exchanged vows with Diana. So she's saying both of them responsible for that marriage, but ultimately it rests with Charles. But I'm glad that she, she's calling out Camilla. Camilla should be one that, speak up about what her author, her biographer is doing, and, her how many years now of abuse daily of Prince Harry and especially Meghan. And so obviously the royal family have been silent, and again, Black person calling out Camilla, calling out Angela, and Camilla. And I love the fact that she connected it. Camilla is in the middle of, one, destroying Princess Diana's marriage, and now she's in the middle of destroying Harry's with Angela Levin. And again, nothing. She has been silent about what Angela Levin has done. The other person calling it out, Black reporter, Nadine White. I've used her article several times in this podcast. Camilla, Queen consort has sparked fresh royal racism outcry after being filmed picking up a Black child's arm by the sleeve, not the wrist, while donating toys to the child at the London charity on Thursday. Hashtag racist royal family has been trending since. Yep, that's the hashtag. And then she goes on to talk about Angela Levin. There has been outrage over royal author Angela Levin's recent offensive comment about the color of the Duchess Meghan's skin. Despite being linked to racist anti-Meghan Twitter accounts, parts of the UK media continue to platform Levin. Palace has not condemned her. And yeah, none of them. The only people that has called out Angela Levin, called out Camilla, have been black and brown reporters. That's it. The rest of them have been silent, absolutely silent. And it is just, and they're not going to call it out because, whatever Angela Levin is, they all agree. That's why they keep platforming her. That's why she's all there. That's why she is, able to say the things she's saying. That's why she, I'm sure she'll be on different shows this coming week. I'm sure they'll continue to do it because they all agree, and they all agree with what Angela Levin is saying. They are just, they're not going to condemn her. And so it is, and again, for me, is not understanding why Black people in the UK allowed the royal family to use them and their kids as props. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. So hopefully, they all saw this and what happened with this child, and not just her, the other child as well. And maybe that will give them pause. Who knows? But a lot of times, they love the idea of being around royalty. They love they love those trinkets that they get, those OBE, MBE nonsense. They love those things, and it makes them feel important. So I guess a lot of them are willing to put up with this, so that they can, feel important for a day, I guess. Who knows? But anyways, it's just really, ugh. And, it's so funny with that is, some could say, well, Camilla has nothing, she didn't make Angela Levin say what she said, we shouldn't involve her in this. And then, you see what Angela Levin has tweeted. And Rebecca English actually had tweeted out earlier this year. I think it was in June, July, whatever it was. Actually, this one was October 2021, where Camilla had this event at her at Clarence house, and so Rebecca tweeted out about it. Rebecca English, she writes for the Daily Mail, so one of the royal reporters there, writes for the Daily Mail. Very nasty. But she tweeted like, "Oh, a fantastic speech by the Duchess to close, the event at Clarence house." And if you look at the top of that, the top one on the left, you see Angela Levin subtweeting that, says, "Oh, it was a fantastic gathering. Thrilled to have been invited." So she was invited to this event at Clarence house. And at the bottom, she, Rebecca English, was tweeting another time. She tweeted that the Duchess did this conference, the Duchess of Cornwall, which is Camilla, references the killing of Sarah Everard and Sabina Nessa in a powerful speech about violence against women, etc., etc. And Angela Levin again tweeted, "Oh, what a powerful speech the Duchess gave. It was an honor for me to be there." And on the left, you see where Angela Levin tweeting again about Camilla, marvelous announcement from the Queen that she wants Camilla to be Queen Consort. I am particularly delighted as I have been heads down writing her biography over these last months. It's such an honor. And that's, so it's not just you can think of, Angela Levin. She wrote this biography on Prince Harry. She spent 20 minutes with Harry for an article for Newsweek, and then used that the information there, which she wasn't given that information to write a book. She was given that information to write an article for Newsweek, and she took it and turned it into a book. Harry did not give her permission to write a book about him. Camilla, on the other hand, did. And so Angela Levin, so that's the connection with her and Angela Levin. And the fact that Angela Levin is literally on Twitter almost daily attacking her stepson and his wife almost daily. One, writing her book and her not saying a word. Not saying a word about this kind of abuse. And again, King Charles, the same thing. Not saying a word. And to have this woman at Clarence house. And it's just, again, people are like, how could Harry and Meghan, how could they be talk against their family? How could they, would you want to have this kind of family? this, I mean, this is the kind of people that Harry and Meghan have to deal with. And for me, I'm telling you, Harry and Meghan are so kind. They are so compassionate and so patient. Because I would have lost, I mean, I would have just completely banished this whole family a long time ago. I would have cut them off a long time ago. There is no reason, in no way I would put up with this. I mean, how do you explain this kind of stuff? How do you explain Camilla's relationship with the Daily Mail? Not just Camilla, but also Charles's relationship with the Daily Mail. How do you explain and be in a relationship with people who literally are in bed with the tabloid? That is their whole, it seems like their whole thing is to destroy your family. I don't understand that. So for me, I don't know how Harry and Meghan have lasted this long and not cut them off, but kudos to them. I mean, that's some kind of loyalty that I just don't understand. I totally don't understand it. Anyways, and moving on, I'm gonna jump into the chat in a bit, but Scobie, I feel like Scobie's giving me all my information today. And Scobie also took the Daily Mail to task. Says 1 minute the Daily Mail is having a hernia about about how disrespectful the Crown is. The next day they're paying serialization of a book exposing the Queen's secret cancer battle just 12 weeks after her death. Personally, I think unless it came from the palace or Her Majesty the Queen herself, private medical details, which were always fiercely guarded, should remain just that. Should never be okay to make a decision for anyone. And obviously, when the Queen died, her death certificate basically lists her cause of death as old age. There's nothing in there. I know people have said that Nicholas Witchell from the BBC had said when the moment she had died that it was bone cancer, and other people have said, but it's her death certificate doesn't list that. No one, as far as I know, the Queen has never spoken about her medical health. But this is again, the hypocrisy of the press, the hypocrisy of the British press. They're attacking everyone because, they are so disrespectful to their queen. They're attacking the Crown, which, for other reasons I would attack the Crown, but not for this one. How dare they do this series when the Queen just died? How dare Harry write a book and release his book, and how dare he do a series and the Queen just died? And that's been the narrative and the mantra for all these months. And here's the same Daily Mail, which has been chief among those hypocritical press, attacking everyone because they so-called, disrespectful to our Queen. And as Scobie said, here they are, paying to get a book serialized in their paper that is revealing apparently the Queen, apparently the Queen died of bone cancer. And private information that nobody has, the Queen has never told anybody, apparently. And so they are perfectly fine when they are the ones disrespecting her. They are perfectly fine when they're the ones with the scoop, so they can disrespect everything she is about. I mean, we just have to look at what they did during her funeral. But they are perfectly fine to release her, apparently, the fact that she had cancer. And again, we heard that she had cancer. Nobody from the royal family has confirmed it. But apparently this nasty book writer is a friend of the king and queen consort. So anything in that book, and I'm sure, they're going to obviously attack Harry and Meghan. And of course, Harry's book is coming on and all of them are like, how dare Harry release a book because the Queen died? But yet they're now serializing a book by a nasty book writer that is giving away all the Queen's, apparently all her private information. And they're perfectly fine with that. They're all tweeting about it. And they're all putting it in their papers. And it's okay that they disrespect the Queen. And it's just, I'm telling you, royalists are this, I literally have never, ever come across people like this in my entire life. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I just don't understand the kind of, I don't understand. And people just accept it. They'd simply just accept it. So it is, Anyways, moving on to happier things. So before I'm just going to leave that picture there so Church Nelly can sit there and salivate. So we'll get back to this picture in a second. But thank you so much, Matilda, for your super sticker. I really appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. It's Church Nelly. Oh, thank you, Church Nelly. It's like, thank you, Matilda. Thank you. But Church Nelly, this is for you. I saw this and I was like, yeah, Church Nelly's gonna appreciate this. And yep, this is Nacho. Magic Millions is this organization, I think, in Australia that I think they buy horses and stuff. They're very much into the polo and the horse racing scene in Australia. And so I saw this and I was like, yep, this will but right there is Delphina, so don't have any thoughts, Church Nelly. Delphina is right there, and apparently, and it's very interesting. So I went in and I looked them up a little bit, and again, they're racing, carnival, and horse sales, so that's what they're involved in. But there's Nacho and Delphina there, and I think that's that girl that they always play with in Aspen, who in the horse. But on their left is Mike and Zara Tyndall. And so I guess they're doing something together. They've done before. I think it was just before COVID. They did something, I think, with them before in Australia. So it's just very interesting again. So it's something that's coming up in January. And so I guess some event in Australia that they're doing with the Tyndalls. So it's just very, very interesting. So I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. Let's see. What else do I have? Oh, let's see. What else do I have? Oh, finally. Yeah, Luminary Bakery. You guys remember Luminary Bakery? It was that you can see Meghan there when she made that cake with all the ladies there when she went and just had a session with ladies who were really trying to get back into society. Luminary Bakery have them, help them with jobs, and Meghan with SmartWorks. And we talked a lot about the Sussexes, how wherever they are, they just build communities with the organizations that they're working with. And so this is Luminary Bakery tweeting about SmartWorks being a part of their, helping women to get back to work. And so Luminary Bakery tweeted this. They said, this week on phase 2 of the Luminary Employable course, we had the fantastic team from SmartWorks charity in to work with trainees on their interview skills. SmartWorks is a fantastic partner charity who have supported over 20,000 women, including luminary women. And again, that is the wonderful, wonderful things about Meghan and Harry when they work with organizations. Again, they really have the organizations helping each other. And this was another example of that. We see, how they do it in the US, the same thing. And this is a couple of Meghans working together in the UK. So I just thought that was a wonderful thing. I was happy to end my stuff on positive notes of, away from the royal nonsense. But I'm going to jump in the chat and see what you guys are saying. So let's scroll up and we'll hang out in the chat for a bit. Let's see. R. Smith says, but sadly, Charles is not unique. The royal grift is universal. That is why they are confused that Harry is changeling. Is a changeling. Oh, okay. Yeah. I think their thing is that, and I think that was one of the reasons why he wanted Harry in Saudi Arabia, so he can have a cash for access stuff on Harry to hold him. It's one of those things to hold over his head, so that way he wouldn't leave or he wouldn't, if he did something, you'd be like, see, you did this, is what, and it's just wild that that's his father. And yeah, it's like Harry and Meghan that's why they just so want to pin negativity on them or want to pin something dirty on them so that, they don't show up the royal family, but whatever they're trying to pin is not sticking. So, but it's just, you're right, that it's not unique. It's just part of their grift. I mean, the queen has been grifting her whole 70, how long she's been under it. When she was, was queen. I mean, that's their whole thing, is grifting, and they're allowed to do it apparently. Let's see. Let's see what else. Black Queen says, talking to Sheila J, love your passion. However, Meghan is forever tied to that family through Harry. They'll attack her as long as she is with Harry and breathing, unfortunately. Yeah, it just Yep, I saw something on Twitter with one of those derangers. Somebody posted a screenshot saying that, oh, if Harry and Meghan, or if Meghan give up her title, we'll stop attacking. I was like, no, you won't. You're racist. The reason you're attacking is because you're racist, and you're not going to attack it. Meghan is not going to become white, so you will continue attacking. It's just, moving the goalposts. It was, if they give up the, if they didn't take taxpayer funds for Frogmore, they paid it back. It was if, they picked something. They did all of the things. As if they left, if they did, and they did everything. And now they're moving the goalposts. If they give up all their titles now, then we will leave them alone. It's like, no, you won't. The reason you're attacking them is because you're racist, and you're not going to change. And of course, they'll be like, oh, no, we're not racist. It's because of something that Meghan. It's like, no, you're just racist. That's just what it is. Kanitha says, Charles is very greedy. He will always be involved in money scandals. The love of money is the root of all evil. I'm telling you, true words cannot be said, honestly. It's just in him to just be greedy. And again, there is no reason to take this money from other people. Charles inherited so much money and land and all that stuff from the Queen. There is no reason for Charles to be accepting money from anyone, or even soliciting money from anyone for charity. And again, they don't put their own money. They don't put their own money. They rather go through and take, money from, people that, have quote unquote shady characters. Well, I mean, when you think about it, Charles is also a shady character. They're all grifters. They're all shady. So I guess, one snake taking money from another snake. So there you go. Cookies and Cream, our awesome moderator, says, Prince Harry is definitely his mother's son. He is genuine, kind, devoted, compassionate, honorable man, father, and husband. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Lord, for Princess Diana. Let's see. Joanna's like, Omid, bless you. Yes, I'm telling you, Omid is, if you guys remember when Omid started really speaking bluntly about what's going on in the royal family, he got so much hate from specifically Dan Wootton, Piers Morgan, Richard Eden. All of them teamed up, and others teamed up to attack Scobie, every single thing he wrote. Now all of them, because I think they thought that they would bully him into changing and bully him into silence. Now that they realize that they can't, they've all shut up. They now leave him alone. They don't say, other than they try to, when they write, they're like, oh, he is Meghan and Harry's mouthpiece. He's their friend. Stuff to try to belittle instead. So the attacking way, they used to come at him with all kinds of things. And now that they realize, like, no, Scobie's just going to call it out, and there's nothing you could say about it, they're pretty much leaving him alone now. So it's just, yeah. I remember Max Foster used to be one that used to, he was a good reporter. And then he got, I guess his reporter friends kind of had a word. And then all of a sudden now it's just, Max Foster just lies. Oh, wait, someone just donated. Thank you so much. Let me find it in the chat. L. Williams, thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you. And to all our 403 friends who are hanging out with us, please go ahead and click the like button, and please share this video. We appreciate you being here. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. Let's go through some more of your posts. Let's see. Anfu says, what bothers me is that women and just men are not saying a word about the abuse being suffered at the hands of the leaking British British family and British press. What injustice to one woman? Yeah, they all are like, yeah, they all agree with it. They're not, yeah, they've not spoken out. They're all in the same boat. They agree with what's happening. And so it's really sick. Again, I have never seen this kind of thing. It's unreal to, I mean, how many years has this been going on, you know? And they're all there, and people are not saying a word. They, again, if it wasn't for Scobie, you know, Nadine White, Shola, they're the ones that are frequently calling them out. If it wasn't for those three people, none of them. I mean, there are a couple of others in the UK that will call out stuff, and every now and then I even hear, I think I mean, I don't know his music, Stormy Z, but apparently he put Meghan in the song, but I don't know if that's the Meghan he's talking about. I'm assuming that's what he means, but unless he confirms it, I'm not gonna go as like, oh, that's what he means. About leave Meghan alone. But even then, it's like, these people should, that's great, it's in a song, but this is on your paper every single day, almost every single day. The Black community in the UK should be ashamed of themselves. For me, on a whole, they should be ashamed of themselves. They allowed this woman to get bullied out of their country, and most of them have remained silent, especially those in the UK with large platforms. Again, very few of them, Afua Kirshen, or Hirsch, what her last name, I just remember. She used to stand up, but, for her mental health, she stopped going on those like UK television stuff because they would all just gang up on her. It would be one Black person, and then a whole bunch of racist white people around her. And I think it was just damaging her for her, and so she stopped. She refused to go back on those shows, and you can't blame her. Girl had to protect her mental health. But a lot of others in the UK didn't stand up, and so they just decided to be mute. So for me, it's like, that's great that you put that in a song and all, but you and your people should have been more vocal when she was there, and even now it's still happening. You need to be more vocal. So let's see. Sheila's agreed with me. She's like, yes, but Meghan should cut them off and let Harry deal with his relatives. She's compromising herself by continued association because they will never stop. They're still after Wallace Simpson. I'm telling you, it just, I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I do, agree that she should cut, but again, it's that situation where it's his family, and I don't know, everybody is different. Everybody feels different about stuff, and maybe they're trying to do, I don't know. But if it was me, there comes a point where you just have to love people from afar, and you don't hate them, but you love them from afar, and so you protect yourself, and it's good. I mean, they're doing that in the sense that they've left, but I couldn't, knowing what they continue to do, I couldn't have a relationship with them because it's not like they've stopped, like you love them from afar, and they stop. This is continuing. They're still doing it. So I don't know how you have any kind of relationship with people like that. I mean, I couldn't do it. So maybe there's a way they them and many therapists helping them, hopefully, but I couldn't do it. Let's see. Cookies and Cream says, I agree. I don't understand the type of loyalty either. I would have burned it all down a long time ago. These wretched, racist people don't know when to stop their shenanigans. My thing is, they do know when to stop. They just refuse to, because there's a thing with that culture. It's like, either I control you or I kill you. It's just what it is. They will do it until someone dies. And unfortunately, I mean, Harry talks about it in that when he did The Me You Can See, they will do it. And that's the thing. That's what they're doing. And it is very open. They're not making a secret of it. They are doing their inciting. That's what they're inciting. And so I would have, yeah, I can, yeah. I think the time for being coy about those things is it's been long gone. I would have bluntly called them out, named names, burn. I mean, I would have burned every single bridge. I would not have anything to do with these people. And so I would not be trying to protect anyone because they're not don't need protecting. This needs to be out in the open. Not that it would change royalists, but at least it might open some people's eyes who are on the fence to understand what exactly is happening. So, but I don't know, that's just me. um let's see. Lavertha. Oh, she's talking to Angela. Oh, Angela and her other talking heads opened the closet, and all the royal skeletons came tumbling out. Thanks to those who keep receipts, and there are more to come. Yep. Yep. And those forever books that are coming out, it's just like, you people, it's okay when you make money off of the royal family and off the queen who just died, as they all keep saying. It's okay when they make money, but God forbid her grandson make money off of his book talking about his life. God forbid. Let's see. What else. Diane Hawkins. Hi, Diane. Diane says, very strange that Anne, a non medical professional variety, somehow signed the death certificate and listed the cause of death. That would never happen here in the USA. Trust. That whole, when the queen died, that whole thing is just seemed kind of fishy to me. I don't know. It's just something has always been, along with, that whole timeline where nobody told Harry. And it just, that whole thing, there's something, let's just say one and one is not adding up to two there for me. And so, I don't know, will Harry and Meghan address it? I have no idea. So, yeah. I never will I hope they do. I hope they may have reasons they feel that they need to protect something or protect someone. I mean, I would have just exposed all that mess. So, let's see. R. Smith says, correction, Petal, using Baron's AL voice as I spent 15 months with Harry. Oh, 15 months with Harry? I know him, making it sound like she slept with him. FSG. Oh, okay. Baron's Angela Levin. Okay, now I'm understanding this. I was just like, what? R. Smith, sorry. It took me a second to understand. So Baron has an Angela Levin voice that she spent 15 months with Harry, so she knows him. Yes, that 15 months actually is 50, what is it, 20 minutes? She spent 20 minutes with Harry. I guess she was going to his events and stuff like that for a while, and but actually spoke to him about 20 minutes. And this woman has been going around the world claiming she knows Harry. And it's just like, if it wasn't an issue where you don't want to elevate somebody like Angela Levin, I would be so down for Harry and Meghan just suing this woman and taking away, I mean, literally taking away her ramen noodles, if that's what the last bit of food she had to eat, just take it away. And I don't mean to be mean, but Lord, I'm so tired of her lies and the way she tries to destroy people. Goodness, this woman is just the devil incarnate. Matilda, thank you so much for your super sticker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate your support. Let's see. Diane says, while alive, the most we got was Liz had mobility issues. So why not leave it at that? Meantime, we are distracted from Andy's recent deployment to the Middle East to deal in finances again. I mean, Of course, I'm sure, they're like, oh, Andrew is not going back to work and whatever, ever. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he's going to be doing. He has those connections to the Middle East. When he was the trade envoy or whatever he was for the UK, he has those connections with all those kingdoms and stuff. They're doing arms deals. But so is Prince Charles. Prince Charles was doing the same thing. That's when I say that, no matter what they want to say about Andrew, Prince Charles is probably worse. Prince Charles was also a part of dealing arms in the Middle East. So Andrew isn't doing anything that Prince Charles hasn't done before. So if they're okay with it, if they're okay with Andrew, if they're okay with Charles, then they should be fine with Andrew. So, yeah, that queen's death thing is just I don't know why someone would want to give out that information. If she wanted to say how she died, she would have said, and they've kept it. But again, I have to believe that Camilla and Charles, I mean, the person who was supposedly revealing all of this is a friend of theirs. And so knowing what Camilla did to Princess Diana and how she is very much a person that would spill things to the tabloids, I wouldn't be surprised if this stuff came from her. If it turns out to be true, if this stuff came from her and Charles. So yeah, unbelievable. Let's see. Dana Shekel says, but when you know who your family is, you move accordingly. Just keep distance and show up on your time frame. And in this case, I was like, run away. Don't show up at all. Do not show up. Stay away. Diane says, Feliz Navidad. That should be the Xmas card, Easter card, New Year's card, any association card from the House of Nacho. Yeah, to Church Nelly, sure. I know Nacho and Delfina, so they're such beautiful people. I mean, they're just physically beautiful. So, but yeah. Joy says, Nacho and the Tinder, or Yindles, or Tindles, have known each other in the past. Yes, they have. They have done, again, they went the last time I know of them being in Australia. I think that was before the pandemic. They were hanging out with Zara and Mike there. At least they were doing events there together in Australia. So that I do know. Yeah. So it's just interesting with all this. With all the press trying to like, the Tyndalls against the Sussexes. I mean, I don't know. I know that there seemed to be like a little bit of I don't know, separation there when Harry and Meghan went for the Jubilee. But Zara has always been close to Harry. She's been one of the only ones that's been really close to Harry. So as in terms of Zara, I don't think there's anything there. I could say Mike because apparently he said something about Harry. But I don't. Yeah, Harry is fine with Zara. They've always had a great relationship, so I don't see that being a problem. Let's see. Let's see. Compton Caligal says the Queen was walking around with bone cancer in her 90s. I don't think so. I battled cancer. Oh, wow, which is painful. The Queen would have been on powerful painkillers, which would put you to sleep. Wow, Compton Caligal, I'm so sorry to hear about that. I'm assuming you're in remission now. So hopefully my fingers are crossed. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? I know, during the Jubilee, especially, she wasn't able to do a lot because they keep saying that, she had mobility issues and stuff like that. And so, but at 96, that just could be old age, And again, we don't know if what that person said is true. It's just apparently something he heard. And so who knows if it is absolutely true that she had cancer. Don't know. Let's see. Karen Warner says, hi, Karen. Karen says, Prince Harry and Meghan are making their own legacy for their children and the future to tell their stories. And it's so wonderful for that. It's so wonderful to see what they're doing. And that is what makes the royal reporters and all those royalists angry. Because again, they wanted Harry and Meghan to come to the US and starve and run back to the UK as failures because, nobody could make it outside the royal family. And that's not happening. So, um, that's why they're mad. Whitlin Harper says, as we say in Trinidad and Tobago, hey, Trini. There are some people who you need to feed with a long spoon. I believe Meghan's deal with the royal family very infrequently, and she only does so in support of her husband. I hope that's the case. I mean, for me, I would cut off, but I could see that feeding them with that long spoon and just sort of like, you stay over here, I'll stay over here, and just support through them. So hopefully that is the case. Hopefully that is the case. Lottie says, I've heard a long time ago that Elizabeth had cancer. Oh, okay. So I guess, this was going around. I guess it might have been an open secret. Let's see. Claire says something is definitely fishy with the way things went down after QE's death. Just as it's odd that the content of Phillips will be kept secret. Yeah, definitely that fishy stuff. I mean, I think everyone is just like, there's something happened there that, yeah, it makes you go, Prince Philip's will is not that's not anything unusual. That's what they've done to all the wills. They've sealed all of them. And a lot of it is obviously to seal. They don't want people to know how much property they've probably stolen from people, how much money they have. So yeah, so that for me, it wasn't. That wasn't a surprise. That's actually expected. And I expect the same thing with the Queen's will, that it would be sealed for 99 years. And just as it was her mother and all, her father, I guess, yeah, it's just a thing with royal that, and of course, the press and a lot of people are fighting to get that open because other, regular Brits, it's not sealed. So why should the royal family have special treatment? But they do, unfortunately. So yeah, let's see. Joyce says she followed Harry around like the rest of the RRs for 15 months. She only had 15 minutes in interview. Angela Levin, yes. I think she said it was like 20 minutes. I think it was 20 minutes that they had to talk. She said the palace gave her 20 minutes. And yeah, so I think she... And now she thinks she knows Harry. She knows everything about Harry because she spent 15 minutes or 20 minutes with him. Unbelievable. R. Smith says, Petal the Queen did not wake up that morning. The timeline is nonsense. The reporters started wearing black ties at noon. They did. I know the BBC, they were wearing black ties and their banner became black and ITV's banner was black long before it was announced. So they knew it long before. I don't know if she woke up or not that morning. I have no idea. But yeah, it's that whole thing. It's just, how the fact that even her, Andrew and Edward and William, even though they took that flight and left Harry, they didn't get there in time, to see her before she died. And obviously Harry got there much later. Yeah, it was that whole thing just went down really weird. And so hopefully somebody explains. That would be an interesting thing to find out what exactly that happened. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, Whitland, I forgot to do this. Happy Sunday. Oh, everyone, Whitland wants to say happy Sunday. Thank you, Whitland. I appreciate. Nelly says Eugenie is more close to Harry, in my opinion. Yeah, one of his, yeah, Eugenie is definitely, because I think they are closer in age than Zara. But Harry and Zara has always gotten along, from what I've seen. I don't think, she was, when, especially like when they went for the Jubilee, she was the only one that I really saw, talking to them, and of course the others were there, but yeah, so I don't think he's ever had an issue with Zara. And for, I think, was it for the Queen's funeral, in one of the cars, Harry was there with Zara. He was in one of the cars with Zara. I think that was one of the times when him and Meghan were put in different cars, and he was traveling with Zara. So I think they're cool. Joy says, if it came out of her mouth 20 minutes, it was 15. Okay, I'll take your word for it, Joy. So it was 15 minutes for Angela, not 20 minutes. He was probably lying. Yeah, absolutely. Cookies and Cream says Daily Sweden is a really good article about racist behavior towards that girl. Yeah, I think I talked about, I saw that, and we talked about it in the last episode. So yeah. Oh, Compton Caligal says, I'm in remission, Cookies and Cream. I lost an organ and connective tissue. I am still here to battle with the Sussex squad and support Meghan and Harry. Thank you for your kind words. Oh, wow. Thank you for your kind words, Cookies and Cream, to Compton Caligal. I am so happy you are in remission. May the Lord keep you in remission for the rest of your days. I'm just like so happy to hear that. Yeah. And, this could be really aggravating, like dealing, or even looking at what is done to Harry and Meghan. So please take your time for yourself. I'm sure you're doing it. Take your me time and just, stay away from some of this stuff, because some of this stuff is heavy and could be very mentally challenging or damaging. So I hope, and I'm sure you're doing that. So, but take some time away from some of this madness. Let's see. Manuel says, wasn't Eugenie the one to visit him in California and they attended the football game together? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It was Eugenie. And London Lady says, Eugenie and Beatrice were both close to Harry, especially Eugenie. They're old party chums, wedding chums. They went to my friend's costume hire shop in South London to hire stuff for a wedding. Yeah, they've been very close. I think Harry seemed to be is closer to Eugenie than Beatrice. I think Beatrice is more the royal family, and Eugenie is more sort of independent, it seemed. So yeah, I think, that, at least that's what it looks like to me. Yeah. So let's see. Joy says, the video of Camilla has gone viral on the internet and it needs to stay there. I think we are now to see the true colors of her coming out. The Queen and Prince Philip are gone now. Yeah, and it's really, for me, it's, I think what is going to happen, especially in seeing how this very sensitive issue with the Queen's health, she's gone, that just came out. And I think what they're going to be doing, and it's sick, but I wouldn't put it past them when they are having bad press, i.e. this week with Camilla being, with that child, being her racist self with that child. And again, this coming out today with Prince Charles or King Charles and taking money again from people from Qatar. When anything comes out like that and they don't have, some really negative stuff about the Sussexes, expect them to throw the Queen and Prince Philip under the bus, especially the Queen. Expect things like this to come out, because they are going to use whatever, to stay in, to get good publicity or to distract people from the bad publicity they're having. I mean, look at what they just did this week. I mean, why are we knowing about the Queen's health? Why is this now out in the public? And so, yeah, it's just, and again, the same press that was attacking people about, you know, them not respecting the Queen is the same ones who are now making money and salivating over disrespecting the Queen and invading her privacy. So, I should say the late Queen. And it's very interesting too to see the royal family not call them out for doing it. And again, if they really, really, really cared about the Queen, they would be doing it. They would be calling out the press for that. But so far, nothing. Not one of them has said a word. So I have to believe that came from them. Let's see. Lottie says, if I were the child's mother, I would call Camille out for this. I would hope, but I don't think they will. Again, these people are afraid of the royal family. They don't want to, they're afraid to rock the boat. They're afraid to get out of their good graces, you know? And so I would be very shocked if that happens. I don't think it will, but I would, I want to be surprised, and I would, if it was me, I would call it out, but I don't think they will. Knowing, coming across a lot of these people, you have your, a lot of times. And again, one of our squatties who had kids in school, she said that whenever a royal or somebody's coming to school, she had to sign a permission, one, if her kids could get photographed or video, or, if they could be videotaped. So she had to sign a permission. So the parent had to have signed a way to have their, that it's okay for, their child to be photographed, or, and so I would, when we go into schools, because as a photographer, we go in and we do stuff for the school where we're either shooting a promotional video for the school and I'm photographing stuff. A lot of times we would get specific children that we are not allowed to photograph and we're not allowed to put on video because that's note from their parents. So I know for me, when we do it, we know before we even get, the moment we get there, we get which child we cannot photograph. So it's good to hear that that's in the UK as well. So if the kids are on camera, then the parents said, oh, it's okay. And so I would have hoped that somebody would speak up, so I don't think they will. Joy says, yeah, Americans would call out the school, but you have to understand that this is the UK, different standards. Yeah, very different standards. But, even with, as a parent, if I saw somebody did that to my child, I would definitely speak up. It's like, no, that's just, let's see. Leslie Ann says, even some American media is afraid also. Yeah. They are, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of British royalists in our media in the US. Let's see, a couple more before we end. Madwell says, I think Philip left his money to Penny and his secret kids. They might have together. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know what's in Philip's will, but would I be shocked? No. Would I, again, he wasn't with the Queen. They weren't together. That was very obvious. He was with Penny. So would I be surprised if he left something to Penny for Penny? No. And her kids? No, absolutely not. And it just, that reminds me. I keep forgetting that I need to finish The Crown. I think my brain has turned off. I still have not finished watching it. Sorry. As I said that. Yeah, that's the one thing that The Crown got right. At least it didn't try to lie that the Queen and Philip had this great love affair. That's the only thing I would give them props for. They didn't try to lie about that. And I think it's only because the Queen is dead. So they didn't feel that they need to lie. Joy says, the Queen's death certificate stated she died of old age. Why now put out that she died of cancer? Yeah, they need distraction. The royal family needs a distraction from all that talk about them being racist. They need distraction from all sorts of things. They knew this stuff was coming out. They knew all of what was coming out, with Prince Charles and his mess. They knew, so they need distraction. And obviously that's what they will do. when they need a distraction. They will throw anybody under the bus. And now the queen is dead, so they don't have to worry about her feelings. So yeah, unbelievable. Cookies and Green says the ungodly royal family has no loyalty to anyone, not even to each other. That much is true. That much is very, very, very clear. They are not loyal. And that's one of the reasons I'm like, I would have cut them off. I would have cut them off. So Church says I haven't watched one single episode of The Crown, and I never will. Good for you. I just promised that I would. And I watched the first episodes, and I was so disgusted as my brain is like, tell me I don't have to go back and watch this mess. But I did promise I would, so I will. Literally turned off. Let's see. I am scrolling up. Somebody that I didn't get before. Who else did I not see before? V. Thomas. Yes, V. Thomas at Compton, Caligal. Just in case you didn't see this, V's letting you know that she praying that you will forever be in remission. I think we are all going to be praying for you, my dear. Absolutely praying for you. Bisani, hi Bisani, I didn't get yours today. Bisani says, according to the new book, the Queen thought Harry was too much in love with Meghan. I saw that headline, a bunch of screenshots going around with this stuff, and I forgot about it. I mean, it was so ridiculous and stupid. I was just like, I'm not even. But this is very true. I saw a bunch of screenshots with this that the Queen thought Harry was too much in love with Meghan. Well, for somebody who was not loved, and we know that Prince Philip he was not with her, he was in love and, with somebody else. I guess, any kind of love in that family would be too much love. I mean, hell, look at what, Prince, well, you could say he loves Camilla. Don't know, but apparently they're in love. But you look at the others, and all of her children pretty much were divorced and had just such horrendous lives, it looked like. These people don't know what love is. So I'm sure when Harry is actually love, he respects, and he lifts up the woman in his life, I'm sure it was too much for them. It's like, what is this new teaching? Somebody actually love and respect and care and, would put his, lift up his wife and support and protect her? Really? Oh, no, that's too much love. That's too much. I mean, it's so ridiculous. How can you love somebody too much? I mean, love is just, you love somebody. But the royal family is so devoid of love that is like, this is like a new teaching, it looks like. But kudos to Harry, if she thought that, I mean, that is something that you want to imitate, no? If somebody in your family finally learn how to love someone, shouldn't that be something you'd want to be like, I want to imitate that. I want that for the rest of my family? It's just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Let's see who else I didn't get. Sheila James says, because things are not published in the media doesn't mean people aren't aware. Some very vile things were done to Meghan that no secret, even not published. Yeah, I mean, I can only go back to that interview Meghan did with The Cut, where she talks about, she said like she's not, like she didn't sign a contract to not speak, and she talked, and when asked, why isn't she, and she said she was healing. I think there's a lot of stuff there that, I mean, who knows if this Phantom docuseries ever come out? Who knows? Maybe they'll talk about it. Who knows? I hope she does. I do hope she does talk about some of the things that that happened to her. So yeah, or not happened to her, but that they did to her and are still doing. Absolutely still doing. So yeah. Yeah. Joanne says, can we say Penny Knockbo? And I don't care. I don't even know what you mean, but Penny Knockball. Yes, that's Penny. And her daughter that looks exactly like Prince William. But it's so wild, even just realizing that Penny Knockball was married to Prince Philip's godson. I was just like, oh, really? I had no idea. And her godson is Prince Charles's second cousin. Or is it the first cousin? I was just like, what? I'm telling you, never marry your cousin. Never marry your cousin. Nothing ever comes, and nothing good ever comes out of marrying your cousin. So, yeah. Note to self, no marrying my cousin. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Rootsy. I appreciate. She's like, just joining was cleaning. That's awesome. I'm sure your home is beautiful. Thank you. Let's see. So let's go all the way down, and we're gonna end it in a second. Cynthia says, spare is coming, so people are preparing. Yeah, they are definitely are preparing, and they're trying to jump out ahead of what they think is going to be in spare. So you see all these crazy stories. They're trying to get ahead of whatever they think is coming out. And the thing about Harry is, they just assume Harry's like them. That's why they're doing all this mess. Harry's not like them. Harry's not a vindictive person. So I would be very shocked if they're really much of anything attacking anybody in there, because that's just not who he is, so he'll speak the truth about what happened to him, but he's, but they just assume Harry is as mean-spirited and horrible as they are. So that's why they're, all this stuff is they're trying to throw all this stuff at the Sussexes. Maverick, hi Maverick 7226 Miss Monroe says they're all related. The Queen and Philip, they were third cousins. Yeah, that's why you don't marry your cousin, because of all this mess that happens. Don't marry your cousin. She also says, I bet Charles and Diana were cousins somewhere down the line. Oh, you know what? It's funny because I saw this thing. Talk about don't marry your cousin. That Harry and Meghan are cousins to the 15. They're like 15 cousins or something like that. I think that'd be okay. Yeah, 15. Yeah, I think 15 is far away enough to be okay. But third cousin, no. Mad Will is joining in. She's like, I bet Charles and Camilla are cousins as well. Who knows? Lord. They're all related. Don't marry your cousin. Let's see. One more before we end. Tyra says, how many books are they writing about the BRF, the British Royal Family, and more especially on Harry and Meghan? I've counted 12. Why buy these rubbish? People love royal gossip is why they're buying it. That is exactly why they're buying it. And that's the thing. That's why they hate Harry and Harry writing the book, because they're used to getting away with royal source, a source close to the royal family, some unnamed source, and they can get away with it. Now, whatever Harry, talks about in his book and he exposes in the book, they could no longer get away with stuff like that. And that's why people like Robert Jobson, I'm sure Robert Jobson, someone mentioned that he might have started writing his book about Harry at 40, like he did that miserable, horrendous book he wrote about William. It's just like, ew, Robert Jobson, that's a terrible book. No wonder it bombed. But, he's probably started writing about Harry, and only to find out Harry's writing his own book. So he can no longer hide it. He can no longer get away with, royal source said some lie, But it's incredible that, yeah, they make a living off, writing lies about the royal family, and the royal family don't really say much of it. They don't really correct them. So Harry's book is a danger to their, money coming in. So yeah, that's why they're upset. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you so much to our awesome moderators. I don't think I saw Lydia today, but that's okay. Lydia's hopefully she's enjoying the Sunday. Church Nelly, Karen M, Julie Rock. I didn't see Julie Rock either, but I hope she's enjoying the Sunday too. And Cookies and Cream, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and making this space safe. I appreciate you in every single way. Thank you to you and all of our 2 Cents crew members who support the channel on a monthly basis. I appreciate all of you who, out of the kindness of your heart, once again, I keep saying it, but it's true. It's out of the kindness of your heart, you've decided to support us. So I appreciate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And all of our wonderful Gold Star supporters who support, including here today, with super thanks, super stickers, super chat, all of it. I forgot all my supers. Whether you support via PayPal or Cash App, thank you all so much. I really, really, really appreciate, and you can see all of our squaddies who have supported this channel over the period that we've been here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate, and some of you support all the time, and I really, really, really appreciate it. And happy to have you in our credits so that people will see you, see your support. So I appreciate you. Thank you all of you so much for hanging out with me and spending part of your Sunday with me. I really, really, really appreciate it. I love you. I know this was one of those impromptu ones because my crazy schedule, but thank you so much. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Yep, I could do a live tomorrow, and so I will see you guys tomorrow. I love you, and yeah, talk to you later. Bye.